Disclaimer: this video has been re-uploaded to decrease the loud music and to improve the quality. Enjoy! Hey guys, and welcome back to the second video in the series of how to use Microsoft Access with NVDA. Now, if you haven't watched the first video in the series, you need to go back, in which I showed you the basics of how to navigate the Access interface. Now, I show you how to edit that table that you get on default when you start up Access, but I didn't actually show you how to create a new table. In order to do that, you would have to go to the menu.
Ribbon tabs tab control expanded. Home tab selected Alt H.
So I just press Alt. Now I'm going to use my right arrow key to go through until I hear Create.
Create tab selected Alt C3 of 6.
And as you heard, you can also use the keystroke Alt plus C to get right up to this option in the menu. Now it says selected, so let me press Tab until I hear Tables.
Create grouping. Templates grouping. Application parts collapse. Tables grouping. Table button create a new blank table.
And then I'll press Enter on this.
Grid.
And you hear it says grid. That means I'm in another blank table in datasheet view. And I would go ahead and enter on this table here. Now I'm going to edit the fields for this table. And I want you to stay tuned as I edit the fields for this table, because I will show you a bit more about some of the other data types. Now, this table I want to be about listing my orders. So the t-shirt orders of my customers. So let me first save the table. So Ctrl plus S.
Save as dialog. Table name : edit Alt plus and selected table 1.
And let me call it orders.
Caps lock on, caps lock on, RDERS.
And press enter.
Left paren, new right paren, grid.
Now let me switch it to design view. So Alt.
Ribbon tabs tab control expanded. Table tools grouping. Fields tab selected Alt, Y, JB 7 of 8.
Tab.
Fields grouping. Views group.
And Alt plus down arrow.
Datasheet view checked Alt, JB, W.
Down arrow.
Design view not checked.
Enter.
ID edit ID.
Okay, so first I want an order ID. And I don't necessarily want any really unique ID for this one, so I'll leave it at auto number so that Access can automatically assign a number to it. So let me type in order ID.
Caps lock on, caps lock on, RDER, space, caps lock on, cap I, cap D.
Tab.
Grid table, row 1 row not selected. Row 1, column data type, auto number collapsed, auto number collapsed.
So I'll leave it at that, tab, till I reach to row 2.
Row 1, column just, row 2 row 2, column field name.
I want the same customer ID field that I have in the customers table in this orders table as well, so that I won't have to type out back all of the customers' names, their emails and their phone number and everything in this orders table again. That is what's great with Access. But guess what? If I'm going to do that, I would have to make sure that exactly how I typed the name for the customer ID field in the customers table, that's exactly how I have to type it here. So if I did customer underscore ID or customer space ID, I have to type it exactly like that in here. And if I had the C capitalized and the ID capitalized, I have to do the exact thing right here. So let me do that.
Caps lock on, cap C, caps lock U, S, T, O, M, E, R, space, caps lock, cap I, cap D.
And let's tab.
Short text edit short text.
And it's short text, so let me tab to the next field.
Row 2, column description, row 3, column field name.
So right here, I want to list the amount of items ordered by the customer. So let me just call it item amount.
Caps lock on. Caps lock off. T-E-M space. Caps lock M-O-U-N-T.
And let me tab.
Short text edit short text.
And I want this data type to be number, because it's just the number of items ordered. So let me change it.
Caps lock on. Append. Caps lock U-M-B-E-R.
And tab to the next field.
Edit blank. Grid table. Row 3 row not selected. Row 3, column description left. Row 4 row 4, column field name.
Now here, I want to type in the total amount that the customer paid for their order. So I'm going to call this total amount.
Caps lock on. Cap O T A L space. Caps lock on. Caps M O U N T.
Then I'll tab.
Short text edit short text. Grid table. Row 4 row not selected.
And of course, this would be a monetary value, so I would change my data type to currency.
Caps lock on. Cap C. Caps lock U R R E N C Y.
Then tab to the next row.
Edit blank. Grid table. Row 4 row not selected. Row 4, column description. Row 5 column field name.
Now, my second to last field that I'm planning to enter. I want a column that would tell me if the items were delivered or if they were not delivered. So, this would be like a true or false. So, I would use the yes or no data type. So, let me call this field name status.
Caps lock on. Caps lock up T. A. T, U, S.
Then tab.
Short text edit short text. Grid table. Row 5 row not selected.
Then let me start typing yes, because it's the yes or no data type.
Caps lock E, S.
Then I can just tab away.
Row 6 row. Row 6. Column field name.
Now, for the last field, I want to show you guys how you can use the calculated field. So I want this to be cost per t-shirt. So let me type that in.
Caps lock caps E, caps O, S, T, space P, E, R, space, caps lock on, cap T, caps lock off, S, H, I, R, T.
Then tab.
Short text edit short text. Grid.
And I want this to be a calculated field. So I'll start typing calculated. So I'll just do CALC.
C-A-L-C.
Then tab away.
Expression builder dialog left paren. Examples of expressions include left bracket field 1 right bracket plus left bracket field 2 right bracket and left bracket field 1 right bracket less 5 right paren. Calculated column. Expression editor edit multi-line alt plus E blank.
And you realize it gives you an option to enter the expression. Now, in order to figure out the cost per t-shirt, I would have to divide their total amount by the item amount. So I would start typing. So I would use my left bracket first. So that's right beside the P.
Left bracket.
And then I would type in the field name just like how I have it. So total amount.
Caps lock on. Cap T. Caps lock off. O. T. A. L. Space. Caps lock on. Cap A. Caps M. O. U. N. T.
Then the right bracket.
Right bracket.
Then my divide sign, which would be the slash.
Slash.
Left bracket again.
Left bracket.
Then I would put item amount.
Caps lock on. Cap I. Caps lock T. E. M. Space. Caps lock. Cap A. Cap M. O. U. N. T.
Then my right bracket.
Right bracket.
Then when I'm finished typing in the expression, I would press tab.
OK button.
And enter on OK.
Edit blank. Grid table. Row 6 row not selected. Row 6. Column description left paren. Optional right paren.
And there we go. We're finished entering all the fields that we want for this table. So now let me save it. So Ctrl plus S. And then let's go right into datasheet view.
Ribbon tabs tab control expanded. Table 2. Design grouping. Views. Datasheet view not checked alt. Left paren. New right paren. Edit left paren. New right paren.
And because we left order ID as auto number, we don't have to enter anything here. We can just go right over to customer ID and start editing.
Edit blank. Grid table. New row.
So let's say the customer with the ID 3TQ made an order. So I'll put in 3TQ right here.
3. Caps lock on. Cap T. Cap Q.
Then I'll go over to the next column.
Row 1. Column item amount. 0 0. 0 edit 0.
And let's say that person ordered 5 items.
5.
Then I would go over to the next column. So my right arrow.
Dollar. Grid table. Row 1 row not selected. Row 1. Column total amount. $0 $0. $0 edit $0.
Let's say they spent $450. So I'll type 450.
4. 5. 0.
Then right arrow.
Grid. Grid table. Row 1 row not selected. Row 1. Column status. Unchecked checkbox unchecked checkbox.
Now for the status. What you'd use to check or uncheck is your spacebar. So I want to check it because this item has been delivered. So I'll check it.
Space.
And if I left arrow and come back, you'll realize that the box is now checked. Let me do that.
400. Grid. Grid table. Row 1 row not selected. Row 1. Column status. Checked checkbox checked checkbox.
Now let's right arrow over to the next column.
90 edit 90. Grid table. Row 1 row not selected. Row 1. Column cost per t-shirt. 90.
And there it is. You'll realize that the calculated data type automatically calculates the cost per shirt. Now that is it for creating tables, but there's one more part of this tutorial. Other than creating tables, if you already have a table in Microsoft Excel or somewhere else, but for this tutorial I'll use Microsoft Excel. You can actually import it over to Microsoft Access. You don't necessarily have to type in all the data again, but the best thing to do with that data that you have in Excel, add a new column at the beginning of your data and give everything a unique number or a unique ID, because Microsoft Access uses an ID as a primary key, a unique number for each data. So let me save this table and then I'll show you how to import tables. So Ctrl S and let me do Ctrl plus F4 to close it.
Customers grouping expanded. Customers table button customers.
And wait, let me down arrow to show you that the orders table is added to this list.
Orders grouping expanded. Orders button expanded orders.
There you see it. Now, let's import that table. I have a test table in my documents. I'm not really going to use it in this database, but I just want to show you guys an example of how to import a table. So you go to your menu, so that's Alt.
Ribbon tabs tab control expanded. Home tab selected Alt, H2 of 6.
Then right arrow until you hear external data.
Create tab selected Alt, C3 of 6. External data tab selected Alt, X4 of 6.
And as you hear, you could have also used the shortcut key Alt plus X. So let's tab through.
External data grouping. Import and link grouping. New data source collapsed import or link to data from a file, database, or an online service. Alt, X, N1.
And this is what we want, so press enter.
From file collapsed import data from a file, such as Microsoft Excel, text, CSV, or XML. Alt, X, N1, F.
Enter on here once again.
Excel import data from or link to data in a Microsoft Excel file. Alt, X, N1, F, X.
And enter once again.
Get external data-Excel spreadsheet dialog. Select the source and destination of the data. Specify the source of the definition of the objects. Specify how and where you want to store the data in the current database. We will not import table relationships, calculated columns, validation rules, default values, and columns of certain legacy data types such as OLE object.
So you heard that. So it's best to just have data with no calculations or anything in it. Just some nice clean data. So just names and so no formulas or functions in them. That's the best way to import your data. So from right here, we will tab.
Get external data-Excel spreadsheet window. Browse.
And you will enter right here and choose the file from your computer. Whatever you saved your Excel file as, you'll press enter on here and you browse for that file and enter on that file. So then now, after you click enter on your file, it will bring you back in the dialog box. Then you'll press tab.
Import the source data into a new table in the current database. Radio button checked Alt plus I.
Now we want to import it into a brand new table, but I want to let you know that there's also an option in here. If you had started creating the table already with the exact field names in the exact order, just like how you have it on your Excel sheet, and you just want to add some new records to it from your Excel sheet, what you could do is down arrow from here to an option that says append. So let me do that.
Append a copy of the records to the table. Radio button checked Alt plus A.
And then you would tab to the next option. But I want to import it into a new table, so I'll up arrow back to check that option.
Import the source data into a new table in the current database. Radio button checked Alt plus I.
Then I would tab.
OK button.
And enter on OK.
Import spreadsheet wizard. Grid.
Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. I realize that when it comes to importing tables, Microsoft Access is not very accessible with the NVDA with it. But I found a trick around it. Without this trick, you would have needed sighted help to help you to import the table from here. But if I remember correctly, the insert plus B keystroke reads out whatever is in the dialog box. So let's use that keystroke right now.
Import spreadsheet wizard. Detail 0 section, LB obj name list sheet 1. Detail 0 section, sheet 1. OG obj type grouping 1. OG obj type option group. Show worksheets. Radio button checked Alt plus W. OG obj type option group. Show named ranges. Radio button not checked Alt plus R.
So what that is asking me is if the table that I want is on sheet 1, which it is. And it's also asking me if it's just a range of data that I want to insert. But I don't want to change any of the options right here. But if you want to change the range, that little key tip that you hear after that option is announced, Alt plus whatever, you would have to press that key tip to jump to that option, and then you would edit that option, and then you would press tab.
Pane.
And once you hear this pane, it means it's on the next button, so you can press enter.
Pane.
Now, it says pane again. That means we're on a different part of the dialog box. So we're going to do insert plus B again.
Import spreadsheet wizard. Detail 0 section. First row contains column headings. Checkbox not checked Alt plus I.
Now here, in my Excel sheet, my first row does contain column headings. So I want to check this option. So I will do Alt plus I, and then I'll press my spacebar to check it.
Space.
So let me do my insert plus B again, just to make sure that it's checked.
Import spreadsheet wizard. Detail 0 section. First row contains column headings. Checkbox checked Alt plus I.
And note, if that doesn't work, try pressing Alt plus I again. Probably press it twice this time and then use your spacebar to check it. And do your insert plus B again and see if it checks. Because it doesn't always work on first try. Then we would press our tab.
Pane.
Then once you hear pain, you press enter.
School ID, edit school ID.
Now, what this is asking me is if I want school ID, which is the primary key that I had in that Excel data sheet, to be the primary key. So I want it to be the primary key, so I would press enter.
Pain.
Now, you hear pain again, so use your insert plus B again.
Import spreadsheet wizard. Box 55 graphic. Detail 0 section, OG P key option grouping 1. OG P key option group, let access add primary key. Radio button checked Alt plus A. OG P key option group, choose my own primary key. Radio button not checked Alt plus C. OG P key option group, no primary key. Radio button not checked Alt plus O. LBP key candidates collapsed combo box. Edit. R3 graphic left paren, bitmap right paren.
And if you didn't follow my instructions earlier and made sure that you already had your primary key from your Excel sheet, you could always choose the button that says no primary key. And then you press tab.
School ID, edit school ID.
And then you'll press enter here again.
Sheet 1, edit sheet 1.
Now do insert plus B again.
Import spreadsheet wizard. Box 40 graphic. Detail 0 section, import to table : edit sheet 1 Alt plus I. I would like a wizard to analyze my table after importing the data. Checkbox not checked Alt plus A. Art 5 graphic left paren, bitmap right paren.
Now what this is asking you is what you want the name of the table to be. Now this is just a test table for the database, so let me call it test.
T-E-S-T.
Then I'll press tab.
Pain.
And once I hear pain, I'll press enter.
Get external data -Excel spreadsheet dialog save import steps finished importing file C:\users /shen /documents /excel shen /test sheet.xlsx to table test. Do you want to save these import steps? This will allow you to quickly repeat the operation without using the wizard. Get external data -Excel spreadsheet window. Save import steps checkbox not checked Alt plus V.
And I'll just check this.
Space. Checked.
And press tab.
Import -test sheet edit selected import -test sheet.
Then tab.
Edit blank.
Tab again.
Create Outlook task checkbox not checked Alt plus O.
Tab again.
Save import button Alt plus S.
Then press enter. And it has actually created the table. Now, I realize when we reach here, no matter which button, if we use the arrow or the tabs, you won't hear it saying anything. So what I suggest you do is press your Alt key.
Ribbon tabs tab.
Then, just press your escape.
Orders grouping expanded. Orders button expanded orders.
And you realize it will take you into the table list. Now let me down arrow until I hear the test table that I want.
Orders : table button table 1. Test grouping expanded. Test button expanded test. Test : table button test.
There it is. Now let me open it, so I'll press enter.
SG1 edit SG1.
And there it is. There's a table that I imported from Excel. Let me go through a couple of the records that you hear it.
Grid table. Row 1 row not selected. Row 1, column name, Paul Fisher. Male edit male. Grid table. Row 1 row not selected. Row 1, column gender, male. 14 edit 14. Grid table. Row 1 row not selected. Row 1, column age, 14.
And there it is, my table has been imported. So there you go guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you learned a lot, and remember, if you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell to be notified when I'll post the next video. Be sure to also comment below and let me know what you think about this video. And if you have any inquiries, be sure to use my email, which will be found down in the description below. Stay tuned for the next video in which I'll show you guys how to create relationships and forms. So, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. For those who want to access a transcript for this video, you can visit my website. The link will be down below in the description. And you can use the quick links on the videos page in order to get to the access series quickly.